It'd been up there for 25 something years, and at some point they just start exploding with corrosion. One of the last hurricanes, the wind was picking the tail up, slammed it down, and it broke. We got it down okay, and there was a bit of a combination of errors. Well, that's the end of that. To me, it's the end of an era. When we opened in 1995, one of the things we wanted to do was come up with some kind of an interesting road icon. And of course the DC3 that we were moving today turned out to be it. I bought it from, there was a little museum over in kind of the St. Pete area, and they were kind of downsizing. And basically I bought that. They took the engines and the props off. I think I paid like $6,000 for the whole airplane. So it wasn't a big expensive deal, and it'd be sitting outside for a long time. And so what we did was originally, I came up with the idea to have it basically on the road like this, and the belly, it said Fantasy of Flight on the bottom, and the sheriff kept getting calls, oh, this airplane crashed on I-4 and blah, blah. Where is it? Oh, it's kind of over by Polk City, Auburndale. Oh yeah, we know about that. So anyway, finally when we hung the guy up on the tail wheel, it became a joke, and then it became an icon. A hurricane went through and the rudder kind of half fell off on there. So we went down, took the rest of it off, and over the years some doors fell off and corroded and stuff, and eventually, our insurance company was looking at us, and I think they had a concern about people going in. It looked like it was open. So, so our goal was to get it down this year, and we wanted to try and get it down before the hurricane season.
Hold right there. You want it to cut?
It'd been up there for 25 something years, and we had rolled it down there, and nobody could even remember how we put the wings on. I think we painted it.
You want me to throw it up?
The windshield had broken out, and a couple of hatches had fallen off. So we went down there, and we never really thought about double checking things because it had been so long.
All right, here we go. All right, cable up easy.
Yeah, okay, it should just pop right out.
All right, that's 51. All right, 5100. All right, cable up. Fell it out at 55 and 500 after that. 5, keep going. 7, 8, easy. Hold it. All right, 6200, keep going. 7500.
There was something that was jammed up inside there, so we started lifting the tail up first very slowly to see if it would break, loose or just come loose.
All right, what are you holding, Scott? 75. 75? All right. Pick up some more? Yeah. Okay, keep cabling up.
You can see it.
Okay. Good. Good.
Okay, that worked.
Hold what you got.
That what was supposed to happen?
No, it was. Hold what you got.
One of the last hurricanes, we were unaware of it, but apparently the wind was picking the tail up and it was slamming it, and it actually slammed it down and it broke something inside where it was. Part of the problem was the airplane sits down on the axles, okay, the landing gear system. And there's a little thing in the back there that basically hinges on the bottom, and the airplane sits down on the landing gear, and one of them we were able to pull out and basically leave the wheels out there. We couldn't get the other one because there's like a key in there, and we couldn't get it undone. But when I was pounding on it out there, the one that we were going to have to take the wheel with the airplane my guy had cut it out with a torch, but when the first one came off, because it was lighter on that side, because there was no wheel on this side, but the wheel was still here, it moved a little bit and it kind of bound up where the cut was. And so I was pounding up there trying to make sure it was completely cut away, but by the way the airplane had moved just slightly, it was binding up. But eventually we got in there with a crowbar and it finally came out.
You see this leg right here? We need it to stay straight with that one so it don't twist, so. Hey, when this thing pops, if it starts to rotate, pull your way, okay? All right, go ahead, cable up. Tighten up over there. All right, hold that. You pull. All right, y'all steady right here, okay? All right, cable up. She's flying. All right, now walk with them.
We got it down on the ground. My guys had basically worked on adapting a tow bar for it so we could hook it to the tail wheel and tow the airplane backwards. And when you towed the airplane backwards, the tow bar would basically steer the tail wheel because the tail wheel moves on the back of the airplane. But when we went to put it on there, it was 1/4 of an inch too tight and it wouldn't fit. We tried everything. We wrenched it. We tried to pull it with a crowbar. We couldn't get it on there. No. The crane guy went out there and grabbed a couple of ropes and hooked each rope on the side of the tail wheel. Oh my God, unbelievable. Because now, okay, now that was the first combination of errors. You're doing good.
We almost need another vehicle on the other side to pull it.
I tell you what, let's do that. Hey, Ken, grab the, let's get another vehicle on the front so this thing doesn't roll down the hill. We need some tension on the front here with something.
I can give you one of these ropes if you need it.
No, what happens, here's the problem. If it doesn't have tension on it, the tail wheel starts rocking like this, and at some point it's gonna cock over, and it's gonna start going down the hill and we're gonna be screwed. So I said, look guys, second combination of errors, let's go ahead and put the lull up on the front and just have a little tension there, so if something does happen, the airplane's not gonna roll into the back of the truck. Okay, that was the coup de grace right there. You watch the tail wheel, and if the tail wheel looks like it's cocking off, then you hold the tension. You basically are going to be steering it, okay? Or you're going to be letting it go, but you just keep tension on the front. And what happened was, my lull guy couldn't see the truck, and so as he started to pull it and he put some tension on it, what happened was there was angle iron that was about 1/4 inch thick. I mean, it was plenty strong enough to hold the landing gear, and it had done it forever. But what happened was we put the tension on there and it popped them both out. Thank God they both went at the same time. Yeah, I think if you head down towards that bush there, it's going to be a little bit less of a slope than to the right. Well, that's the end of that. Everybody okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. Well, so much for that. And I was under the airplane. I was the only one really under. There was one of my guys was kind of under the leading edge, and he just basically dove for the ground. Everybody else was fine. I was under the left wing, and I heard pop, pop. and they both came down at the same time. It was something that we learned from, you know, something I'll never forget, and hopefully it'll help me in the future. Nobody got hurt. We got the airplane, well, we left the airplane, and that was the end of the deal. We had the crane come back a couple of weeks later, and basically we had a plan where we picked it up and we set it on the belly on a trailer. I mean, it was a joke, really. It was a big trailer. We actually ran a strap from one wheel over the top of the engine nacelle. And we basically, you know, towed the airplane down. We had to take the fence down because we've got cows there. When we got it down here to the ramp, what we did was we lifted it up, and we had some jacks for, you know, like retracting the landing gear, and we knew it wouldn't fall on that. The jack pads were still there. So what we ended up doing was eventually we came out with, we have a lull, you know, the lift like this. And we went under there, and I got out there with my maintenance guy, and we strapped both sides. Of course, now it's up on the jacks, so the airplane's not coming down. And we tugged and tugged and tugged, and eventually I'm like, man, I can't believe it. These things ought to fall down. Is these angle things that were in there to hold the gear in place in the first place had gotten crammed up inside, and when we pulled it down, we had to pull those down, and it ripped some of the structure of the nacelle as we went down. So we got the gear down, we strapped it temporarily, but it's still under the jacks. We're gonna put some braces on there. There is no way that gear is gonna collapse, okay? And once we get that done, then we're gonna take the jacks out, put it on the wheels, then we can roll it around. We still have to fix the tail wheel. I appreciate people's concern about it not being there. It has been a road icon, but it's time to move on. You know, it served its purpose. And so it's like, well, that's kind of really the end of the era. So keep an eye on Kermit, because one day I want to do some really cool things out here. I'm not giving up, so keep an eye on me. Other than that, there's not a whole lot going on.
Yeah.